Corporate cultures are vitally important because they literally drive people's performance. It was as far back as 1992 that Cotter and Heskett wrote what is now considered a landmark book called Corporate Culture and Performance. In that book, they looked at companies that had great cultures and compared those to other companies. And across every measure of performance, there were staggering differences between those two groups. There was massive outperformance by those companies that had great cultures compared to those who didn't. Our own research backs up this point. Recently, we asked this question, which I think is a fascinating question. If the culture of your workplace was to become as good as it realistically could, how much improvement would there be on people's performance and productivity? The results we got back were amazing. 91% of senior leaders reported there would be a 20% or more improvement in performance if the culture was realistically improved. Incredibly, 58%, that's 6 out of 10, middle managers felt there would be a 50% or more improvement if the culture was realistically improved. These are massive figures. But this is not only for organisations that have ordinary cultures or worse. This also applies to companies that are hugely successful. Right now we're working with companies that are being very successful and want to lock in their great culture as a point of distinction, as a point of difference from other organisations. So if there's this massive capacity, why is it that it is not being tapped into in so many organisations? In my view, it relates to the complexity of the concept of culture. What people don't understand, they don't manage. What they don't manage, they become victims of. And I think that's often the case, sometimes with senior leaders as well. That's part of the reason I created the concept of UGRs.